Well, this is the final straw. So for those of you who are aware of my most recent community post, have seen that I technically announced, that a couple days ago, Heisenberger aka Vector should have released the Fnaf World Android port on his GameJolt page. Now, I DM'd him roughly 3 times ever since the day he messaged me saying that he was going to release them. I haven't gotten a response since. Due to this lack of communication, and people in my comment sections getting desperate for the release and asking repeatedly, I have finally decided that if you check the link in my description box below, the first one is going to be linked to my Google Drive so that you can download the Fnaf World APK. Now, for those of you who are patient enough to wait for the official release, including the official release for Fury's Rage, Freddy in Space 2, and Freddy in Space 3, I'm also going to leave Vector's GameJolt page linked below so that you can follow that and get notifications from that. Now, I can only imagine how much my subscriber count is going to plummet after this video releases, because I've seen quite a few recent notifications about new subs, which, hey, if you're seeing this, I really appreciate you checking the channel out and considering subbing. But also, for many of you who I'm certain are only here for the FNAF World stuff, you're probably going to end up unsubbing after this video, because this is probably going to be the last video I'm ever going to make related to Five Nights at Freddy's topics. And no, I'm not going to be one of those desperate people like every other YouTuber who begs for subs. I only want you to stay if you enjoy the content you see. So if you were only here for FNAF related content, you may as well leave now. Although, if any of you guys are interested in sticking around for the other stuff that I make content about, I do have a bit of stuff to discuss. So first off, the 2 main projects I have in mind for YouTube, or the 3 main projects rather, are not going to really be involved with this channel. Rather, they're going to be involved with my secondary channels. So that means that the main Cackers channel is going to be fairly dormant for the next long while. But the 3 projects I have in mind, now keep in mind, there are no guarantees that these projects will ever be started or finished. I just have ideas down for them, and they are something that I really do want to get working on, but depending upon whether or not my ADHD will allow me to, it's gonna take some time. So first off, my horror series. So on my secondary channel, Crispy Horrors, which I am considering renaming to the Second Lunar Satellite, which is what the series is going to be called, that channel, if I ever do wind up finishing the first release of episodes, they're all going to drop at once instead of episode by episode. So basically, you'll be able to binge it, and then you'll have to wait for the next season to drop. But again, I don't see this series lasting too long. And then for another one of my secondary channels, Cackers Music, which I am also considering renaming, I am thinking of starting to make my own music at some point. Now again, this one is probably one of the most unlikely. While yes, I do have over an album's worth of lyrics written down, I am not very experienced in writing instrumentals, and when I have tried my hand at it, it was painstaking and not enjoyable in the slightest. So, at some point I was thinking of purchasing a tool that would allow me to convert vocals into an instrumental so that I can get it to sound just the way I want. Or if anybody wanted to become a musical duo with me, I would actually really love to see what instrumental work some of you guys are capable of, if you would be interested in working with me. And again, also, if you're interested in the types of topics my music will be covering, and if the type of music style that you create is in tune with mine. And I was considering calling my music artist name Cryptic Security. Again, I am just kind of spitballing at this point. It is a bit of a work in progress, but that is the name I want to stick to if I ever get to making music, as a music artist at least. And then another thing that I want to get to at some point, you know, if I ever get back to modeling and animating on Blender, I want to make animations for the 3 bonus tracks on Animusic 1 and for the entirety of The Sound of 12, making my own fan-made video album called The Side of 15. Now, of course, considering that this would be over an hour's worth of music, and music albums are generally only half an hour to 40 minutes, this would be a very painstaking and long process to get done. So I think this one might actually be one of the least likely to happen. I think I'm most likely to finish my horror series first. Speaking of my horror series, if any of you guys are interested, I would actually like to know if any of you guys are interested in voice acting for my horror series. If you check my Instagram, which I will also have linked below, feel free to DM me and we can talk things out. Now, of course, if you are interested in voice acting, keep in mind that I unfortunately will not be able to pay anyone who voice acts for me. However, your name will still go in the credits for whichever video your voice is put in. Anyhow, for anyone who's going to stick with my channel after this video, I appreciate you more than you can know, and I really hope that you guys understand what I've been going through for the past while. So, thank you, really. That's all I got for now. Stay crunchy, everybody.